Were expecting a major ruling today in the murder of Jared Bridegan, but that did not happen. Bridegan was killed in February of 2022 in what investigators have described as a murder for hire plot. The defense teams for Mario Fernandez and Shanna Gardner have made motions to have the state attorney's office 4th Judicial Circuit removed from the case over allegations of misconduct with attorney-client privileged communications. But instead of getting a ruling, an email was submitted to the court and the lead prosecutor was once again testifying. Katie Jeffries explains where this case now stands.
The issue over whether or not the current prosecutors will be removed from the case has been going on for months, keeping this case from moving forward towards a trial. There were many allegations brought up during the hearings about this issue in April. Specifically for Mario Fernandez, his attorney says 2 documents the state has are privileged. The state counters they are not privileged. But today, a focus was put on how they were shared within the state attorney's office. The 2 documents are labeled Confidential Timeline and Confidential Communications, the latter being a spreadsheet of text messages between Fernandez and Henry Tenon, the man who has pleaded guilty to firing the fatal shots. Fernandez's attorney, Jesse Dreiser, says the documents were made for him and are privileged. The state says when they searched Fernandez's phone and Google Drives, the documents were found and not labeled with attorney names or emails and are not privileged. But instead of getting a resolution on this issue, the prosecution says it notified the defense on Monday it had found an email showing the lead prosecutor, Christina Stifler, did forward an email containing both documents to 2 other members of the state attorney's office in June of last year. Those 2 other members say they do not recall opening the documents. That revelation, along with other allegations made, has the defense saying the state attorney's office needs to be removed.
The public at large, and Mr. Fernandez especially, cannot walk away from this without suspicion that the integrity of this judicial process has been compromised.
Assistant State Attorney Alan Mizrahi pushed back against the allegations of misconduct and said that they still contend the 2 documents in question are not privileged.
Using the attorney-client privilege somehow as a sword to prohibit the state of Florida from going through potentially incriminating evidence is not violating the public trust in any way, shape, or form. We did everything we could to ensure that we did not look at attorney-client privilege information.
Shannon Schott, a defense attorney and not connected to this case, says this is not a good look for the prosecution.
Main takeaway here is that the situation has gone from bad to worse. There's more evidence that's being presented. It's just like a compounding of information for the judge to consider. And I think what was maybe a simpler decision has now become more complicated based on the developments for the judge.
So will the state attorney's office, 4th Judicial Circuit, stay on this case? Judge London Kite says she will issue her ruling on this matter on May 13th. Katie Jeffries, First Coast News, on your side.